And this is the Rita CROSBY Show. Well, last week was Fashion Week. The who's who of the fashion world and the beautiful models and the beautiful outfits, well, they were all in New York City. And we have now on the show a true icon in the world of fashion and also in charity. I want to give you a little bit of a sense of his life story because it really is remarkable. Peter Nygard was born in Helsinki, Finland back in 1943. His parents were bakers. They immigrated to Canada in 1952. And then here it is. It's December 1967. Peter Nygard, still a young guy at this time, he uses his life savings and gets an additional loan. It was about $8,000 to set up a woman's clothing manufacturer to purchase 20% of it. Then he goes on to buying it, owns the company, and renames it Nygard International. Nygard International is now one of the biggest booming fashion companies in the world in women's wear. Any woman out there will know the brand. They are just amazing designers, and the man is an incredible person, and he joins us now here on the Rita CROSBY Show from thousands of miles away in China. How are you, Peter?
Hey, Rita, how are you? I'm in Shanghai. Thank you for those wonderful words.
How wonderful. There you are in Shanghai. First of all, we're so glad to have you. I know it's early in the morning there that time. And you're doing some incredible things. I first want to talk about your business in the fashion world because what you have accomplished is truly remarkable. In New York City, where I'm based, I walk by and I see the big sign Nygard right there in Times Square on the film, the new big series Smash. It's there in the background. Can you believe a guy who came literally almost with the shirt on his back and helped start this company, and now you're one of the biggest designers and right there in Times Square?
Right in Times Square, what a dream come true, right? It's the big Nygard sign. And Rita, you were there when I opened that in 2006. Thank you for the beautiful compliments. I remember us opening that New York office with a big celebration. Remember, we took over Times Square at the time.
I sure do, and you still do now, because there's nobody who goes by there that doesn't see that beautiful sign. And everything you do, you take so much care in what you do. What do you think is the secret to your success? Because you're really a man who's followed your dreams and somebody who cares about giving back too. What do you think's made such a difference in your success?
Well, I think you mentioned it. The issue of being very, very meticulous, caring about every detail, caring about every quality of the product, caring about every human being. It really is a matter of being very, very careful and very, very caring. And of course, I love my work. I have a lot of passion for it. So the combination of all that caring and loving the work that you do and working very, very hard is sort of put me on top of the world.
It sure has. And you've been in the company of the who's who. I mean, Brian Mulroney, Gorbachev, Vicente Fox, you name it. You've been honored and gotten so many awards. And I think a lot of it comes back to your mother, Hilke Nygard, who I had the real honor of meeting, who you've called The Wind Beneath Your Wings, and you have a beautiful book about her, too.
Yes, The Child, is my mom's book. It's something she wrote about 5 years ago, and then passed away as soon as, actually as we launched the book, she passed away, and it's been available for sale everywhere, and it's one of the best sellers in Canada particularly. It's a beautiful, beautiful story.
Well, I had the pleasure of playing Uno with your mother, the card game Uno, and she was a hard person to beat. So I can't imagine how tough she was as a mother. She gave you just such great value. She was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And when you told me she passed, I cried. She was just so special and had such a love of life and was so proud of you.
Yeah, she did have a love of life, and I loved her so much. And I traveled all over the world searching for a way of keeping her alive because she loved life so much. And as you know, that's how I ended up stumbling and ending up with this world of medicine. Now it's because of my mom. She put me to it, and now I'm involved with the Nygard Biotech division. Actually, I'm here in Shanghai. It's about 6:30 in the morning here in Shanghai right now. I'm talking to you, and we're just establishing a business in Macau. But it's all about my mom. It started with my mom, and she loved that life, and discovered stem cells, and I wanted to put stem cells into her heart, and I just missed. But all I see now, about 3 years later, is stem cells everywhere.
It's incredible. Some of the breakthroughs and some of the things that you and I have talked about that I think is important for our listeners. Some of the incredible developments that are taking place. We actually had one of the congressmen on before you were on earlier on the show. And he was talking about, Congressman Michael Burgess, that there's so many regulations in the U.S. and the FDA that there are a lot of these developments that are being done elsewhere. And we're losing these opportunities in places like Macau and elsewhere.
Well, this is why I'm here as well. I have a big fashion business here in Shanghai, and USA lost a lot of its fashion business to China, and it's about to lose its major medical business. The world of stem cells and genetic medicine is exploding all around us. It's a whole new miracle. USA is very, very tied in. It's very bureaucratic. It's very, very slow to move, and there China is going, and they're so determined now to be the #1 in medicine as well, revolving around this new miracle of stem cells. And that's why we're here as well. We established our new facilities here in Shanghai, as well as you know, in Macau, and these are some miracles of life. We're being able to cure diseases that is are incurable.
One of the things that's amazing too, and everybody, we're talking to fashion icon, incredible businessman, and the CEO of Nygard International, the chairman of Nygard International, one of the biggest fashion firms, and also Nygard Biotech, Mr. Peter Nygard. Peter, what's interesting is the type of stem cell. You have to use a certain kind to solve the problem, right? It has to be very specific.
Well, there's work that's been done in all types of stem cells. We have we go stem cells from adipose stem cells, which is your latest word, has been discovered from your fat, and there's a lot of stem cells in the fat, and of course we've always had bone marrow, which has really been stem cells. We have it from our blood, and the big issue is everywhere now is umbilical cord. Nobody should destroy the umbilical cords, because those are full of stem cells, very young, energetic stem cells, and then we go all the way up to the embryo at the end of the day, and that's the source of life, and the embryo is 100% stem cells. So you have it at all levels. It comes from everywhere, and they're discovering stem cells work at all levels. We don't even know for sure which is the best one right now. We're just about 10% of the way here in discovering about this world of stem cells.
Well, it's amazing what you have accomplished, and I wish you so much luck with Nygard Biotech. It's incredible what you do, and Nygard International, and a real privilege to have you here on the show from Shanghai, and my dear friend, and you just give back so much to the community, and we're so privileged to have you here on the show. Peter Nygard, thank you so much for being on the Rita Cosby Show.
Thank you, Rita.